Hey, we're back. I'm excited to be here. Happy Monday. Let's get a great week together right now, starting with this live. You got it. And all I want to share today is that I've been in a few rooms where people are complaining about scope creep a lot. And they're freelancers, they own small agencies. And I just keep my mouth shut because if your client is managing the project, you've already lost. And you're like, wait, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Look, freelancers, small agencies constantly run into issues with scope creep, endless revisions, unclear expectations, and they think the solution is to limit the number of hours or cap the number of revisions to protect their time. And I get it. The problem is when you're selling time, that just creates tension and resentment over the course of time. Sorry, I didn't have a over the course of the engagement, because they haven't defined, or we, you, me, I've done it in the past, haven't defined how we'll work and what the client is actually buying. And the problem with expertise is it can be fairly abstract. So, and trust me, like I said, I've been through this hundreds of times. I don't even know how many hundreds of times. I've been a designer, art director, creative director for agencies. I've built teams, dismantled teams. I've built entire processes. I have fixed entire team processes before. I'm pretty sure I've seen it all. And I lived with the pain of letting clients drive, and it doesn't end well. We often wonder why client engagements in the agency space only last on average about 36 months, 3 years. That's it. And it's hard to continually add value to that engagement when you're not having enough positive conversations, when you're constantly reminding them that, no, you can't have this revision more. You can't have more revisions, or we don't have any more time to put against this right now unless you pay us more money. And nobody likes to be told that, even if they have good intentions for you and they like you, they know you, like you, and trust you, right? So it's a bit of a trap. It's a model that really just says time for sale, and all project work works this way. So selling time, it ends up being a bit of a weak position because the client is managing you. And even if you're executing the tasks and solving actual problems, when you're putting up those guardrails and limiting hours and revisions, it feels bad for the client. And it's always a negative framing. So when you're putting it on them to manage the project and manage how much time you're using, and I've been through this, then it's problematic because how things get done, how long things take is opaque. They don't necessarily know those things. So it's not fair to put all that on them. And that's why I want to come back around to name your process. The process is the product. It's a defined outcome. And it can't just be ad campaign or website. Like, it has to have steps. They're buying a specific outcome from the get. The problem is how we're going to get there isn't a shared agreement. It's not a shared experience. It's just all on us. Even if we say, well, this is the steps we take you through, that's still probably not detailed enough. So it needs a name. Define the process, name the process, be specific, be clear, let them know what part of the process they're in. And the power of branding your process is hard to overstate. It turns your way of working into a valuable asset. It's tangible. It's an outcome, but it's also a tangible thing. So you might call something a discovery sprint or a creative blueprint, or I have one called the credibility playbook, brand tune framework. It's got to have a outcome and a structure 2 words, an outcome and a structure. Discovery, sprint. Creative, blueprint. Credibility, playbook. So when you do those things, it becomes entirely tangible. And then because they have trust and confidence in your proven method, your proven process, now you get to set more of the rules and you get to collaborate on quality controls, and it's easier to manage expectations. It's harder for people to ask for scope creep. And here's the thing, scope creep, it's almost like a 4-letter word. They're like, oh, they're asking for something that's out of scope. Now I have to have a negative conversation with them. They didn't know they were asking for scope creep, at least not all the time. And now you're like, oh yeah, you can't really ask that question. Imagine you're on a date with someone and they're like, hey, let's talk, and you're getting to know each other, and then they ask you a question, you're like, yeah, you can't ask that. Like, that date's going to go south pretty fast. But we do it in business all the time. No, you can't have those revisions. Well, we promised 4 or 3 revisions, so here's what we'll do is we'll just charge you more for the rest. And they're like, whoa, just now you're throwing budget creep on them. And it just escalates. It gets out of control. So clients feel more confident when they have a defined outcome and there's a clear path to that outcome. And naming your process creates that path. And because it's tangible, there's an agreement on what is and is not part of the project. So I don't tell me the name of your process. You can hit the bell if you want more of these. You can like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way. And, if you want to scream at me and say this, you're crazy, that's fine too. I'd love to hear it. You can shoot me a DM. And as is common, I'm not getting very many comments here on YouTube, but each video is getting a few views. And I don't have very many subscribers, which is fine. It's not really the goal. But the LinkedIn DMs and the Slack DMs, y'all are awesome. I super appreciate it. It's awesome. Keep them coming. You don't have to do it here in the YouTube, although I think YouTube would appreciate that. But I'll take it however, I upset somebody last week with something I said. They were like, hey, I wanted to chat about this thing that you said in a YouTube video. And I went, uh-oh. And then it really wasn't that dramatic. They weren't mad or anything. They just wanted some clarification of what I meant when I said something. And they were like, oh yeah, actually that makes sense. So that's the topic today. Define and name your process. You will be shocked, if you haven't already done it, how much work that does for the business. And it's not even that hard to do. I've shared my 9-grid before. Maybe I'll share that again. Maybe this Friday, because I'm actually making an update to my process, a big one. And I'm looking forward to the outcomes of that because I feel pretty good about it. But I also, maybe we'll do it here. Maybe I'll do it on a live and I'll riff on it and you get to see how my silly brain works. So I don't have a thumbnail moment. Maybe, I'll put a pencil. Me holding a pencil. We're going to call this Define and Name Your Process, or Scope Creep's Killing You. Something like that. So anyway, have a great week. Go get them. I'll see you Wednesday right back here at 11 Eastern time. And I'm looking forward to it. We'll have another great topic. So anyway, peace.